Did you know early Christians believed in reincarnation? Modern Christians generally fall into the trap of tacit or blind obedience regarding what to believe in matters of faith, the irony being that their teacher, Jesus of Nazareth, was a spiritual rebel of his era. Moreover, modern Christians tend to obey or firmly trust the very people who Christ warned about, such as Babylonians, Jews, elite bloodlines, and authoritative heirs to spiritual tradition. Modern Christians are open to the idea of a manipulated society, but not when it comes to their worldview. The second irony here is that it's just as likely, and more so, that the Christian worldview has been tampered with over time, for reasons which Christ and others have alluded to. Under such a contextual background, let's look at how ancient Roman elites, such as the Emperor Justinian, who formally condemned the notion of reincarnation in Constantinople in 553 AD, changed Christianity. We shall ask concurrently if Christians should, in modern times, start thinking more independently of designated spiritual authority figures to get to the heart of their own spiritual ideas and spiritual ideas more widely. Early Christian theologians discuss the notion of the soul's preexistence, broach the topic of transmigration, souls entering multiple bodies, and many believers outright included the notion of reincarnation in their eschatological framework. The concept of a soul in a state of perpetual learning, of course, was not foreign to Eastern and Greek thinkers of the era. One of the most famous figures who included reincarnation as part of an organized theology was Origen of Alexandria, a 3rd century Christian scholar in Egypt. He taught that souls existed with God before birth and descended into bodies. In his commentary on Romans 5:10, Origen writes, "Is it not more in harmony with reason that every soul is assigned to a body according to its merits and former actions?" Origen, we know, was influenced by the Hellenic studies. However, it was not just the ancient world which influenced early Christians, but Christian texts themselves. Other widely lauded teachers and believers, such as Basilides of Alexandria, were influenced by Christian Gnostic writings, which culminated in the Pistis Sophia, a 3rd century CE Gnostic Christian text which states in chapter 111, "The soul which has not understood the mysteries is sent back into the world according to its deserts." Apocryphal writings, of course, were a part of early Christian discussion, and in the Apocryphon of John, 28:16-20, it is stated that the soul is hurled into another body according to its actions, until it recognizes the spirit and is saved. Other researchers demonstrate further that a belief in reincarnation was mainstream in early Christendom. Orthodox Christian figures such as Saint Gregory of Nyssa, Justin Martyr, Arnobius, Saint Augustine, and Synesius of Cyrene either openly extolled or considered the notion of reincarnation, the latter stating in one of his hymns, "Father, grant that my soul, reunited to the light, may not be plunged again into the defilement of earth." The most canonical example of reincarnation in the modern Bible is the ongoing debate regarding Christ's enigmatic assertion that John the Baptist was, in fact, the prophet Elijah. Christ states in Matthew 17:11-13 and in other verses, "But I tell you that Elijah has already come, and they did not recognize him." It might be noted that very notion itself of mainstream and orthodox versus apocryphal and heretical thought in early Christianity is a concept created by Roman elites, brought into modern times. As has already been touched upon, the 5th Ecumenical Council in Constantinople in 553 AD condemned the idea of pre-existent souls, reducing the role of reincarnation in Christian life. However, in relatively more modern times, Cathars and Bogomils, medieval Christian sects and mystics, like Valentinians and Basilidians before them, have spoken of the soul's journey through many lives. Christians may wonder if the reignition of interest in reincarnation amongst Christians is a so-called New Age phenomenon. However, it may be better, as a rule of thumb, to see all movements, including the New Age, as having both manipulated and sincere areas of study, hence the importance of independent inquiry. Reincarnation itself can certainly never be considered a new idea. The idea that elites fear secret and esoteric practices and ideas, which might expose hidden worlds or show humanity its power, has gained traction in modern times. What, we might ask, might elites gain from covering up the notion of reincarnation? A greater unearned control of human minds in this life? An overly fear-based spiritual system? It might be argued that spiritual truths always liberate humanity. Believers in reincarnation would say that it is far more than simply imagining oneself as a pharaoh or princess in a distant timeline, but that reincarnation is a deep knowing and remembering. Intuitions regarding how the metaphysical dimensions of life operate can be part of a wider awakening of the soul. This can actually be a part of the Christian experience, even if you stand somewhat outside your tribe, for now, as Christ was comfortable doing. If you love exploring lost Christian ideas, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay curious.